Hi, I'm Vanessa and I'm from London. I've only been modelling really for 6 months, but mostly it's been sort of tattoo stuff and alternative.
What sort of things originally did you start out in your career before you got into kind of appearing in like shoots?
I trained with Burlesque Baby, and yeah, I've always been really into burlesque, and that's sort of how what I started in burlesque really. Yeah, and it all sort of went along hand in hand with alternative scene and fetish and stuff, and yeah.
And what does someone do if they want to train to go into burlesque? What did you have to do to get into that world?
Well, I did like an intensive course, and you don't have to do that. You just you know, you could just make up your own routines as long as you're really dedicated and you're into it. You can do that. I mean, what really made me passionate was when I went to the Moulin Rouge and I saw all the Moulin Rouge dancers, and I was just slightly obsessed by it. And that's what really made me want to become a burlesque dancer.
For you, when you've done the routines on that type of thing, do you always make it up yourself, or do you look up other routines that you can work with? How does it work for you?
You get inspiration from people like Dita Von Teese. Yeah, and she's my favourite, and I love her. And yeah, you just look at other people's routines, you make up your own. A comedy sketch might give you some inspiration, you know, anything. It's just, yeah.
What about how do you choose the music that you would do?
The music, it's got to go with the theme and the story of what you're trying to put across. Yeah, so if you're doing something that's really dramatic, you want a really dramatic song. And if you're doing, I mean, I've seen burlesque to classical music, and seen burlesque to, you know, like gangster rap. You can, it's complete. You can do whatever. Yeah.
What's been the favourite one that you've ever done? What was the routine you enjoyed most?
Actually, at the moment, I'm working on. It's a song called Miserlou from the soundtrack to Pulp Fiction, and I think it's my favourite so far. It's kind of like almost a Mexican themed flamenco style, sort of very Spanish, and yeah, it's really energetic and fun.
It sounds exciting.
Yeah,
it sounds brilliant. So modelling wise, you've gone into certain types of areas, or have you done things like the latex side of things?
Not as much as I'd like. I really would love to get into more latex shoots and work with some more latex companies. That's why I got into this modelling in the first place, is my passion for latex and fetish, and you know, being tattooed and stuff. A lot of tattoo sort of people have approached me to shoot with them. Whereas I really would like to shoot with more latex. Not that I'm ungrateful or anything, but I really, you know, yeah, that's that's my passion.
So something like latex modelling, do you have to get your own costumes made up, or do you? How does it work?
Yeah, I've had a few things made. Recently, I've had one by Fetasia made, which is really cool, and I mean. She makes some really good stuff, and because I've got quite big boobs, you can't just buy it off the rack. You have to have certain things made, otherwise it's not going to fit. But I mean, some costumes you can have can cost thousands. So yeah, it's not like you've got loads. Like I've got loads or anything.
Are there any sort of events or like sort of places you can go to congregate with other people?
Yeah, actually, yeah, Torch Garden is a really cool alternative night. They do like a Halloween ball, birthday, Christmas, that kind of thing. It's run monthly. I go to a lot of that. So,
can you tell me what's going to be the latest project you're going to be working on? What's the newest thing with
at the moment? Well, currently, I'm Miss October for a magazine called Jaded Rides in America, in the States. It's a car magazine, like a supercar magazine, and yeah, they've asked me to be Miss October, and they've interviewed me and asked lots of questions, and it's been really fun actually. Yeah, and yeah, they approached me about that, and they thought I'd be good for their magazine. So yeah, and hopefully next year I'll probably be going to the States and doing car shows with them. So that's pretty cool too.
What sort of other sort of publications have you worked with? Who have you kind of worked with?
Yeah, I've worked with a photographer called Jamie Torrance, who's fabulous. He's so good, and he's got some really good. We've done quite a few shoots now together. Yeah, he's cool, and yeah.
What sort of things does Jamie do? What's his genre then?
It's more like boudoir, like lingerie type stuff. Yeah, it's very beautiful stuff. It's not as edgy as the stuff that I would probably want to, or raunchy maybe, but yeah, you know, it's really beautiful. He's really talented.
Okay, who would be your top 3 models?
My top 3 models were number 1 being Sabina Kelly.
Why is that?
Sabina Kelly because she's beautiful, and she's tattooed, and she's really successful, and I think she's really lovely. Dita Von Teese, she's more of a performer, burlesque performer, but you know, she does model and stuff, and I think she's beautiful also, and she inspired me a lot when I started burlesque. And probably a lady called Mosh, who does a lot of fetish, and she's really cool too. Follow me on Instagram, it's Vanessa Vice, and also on Facebook, you can like my page.